Okay, today we're gonna make Pioneer Sugar Cookie. That's the name of it, from the Pioneer Sugar. But we're gonna start with our wet ingredients. We're gonna start with a half a cup of margarine. It says butter, but you can use margarine. And then we're gonna use, it says shortening also, but if you use lard, the cookies come out creamier. So we're going to use a half a cup of margarine, a half a cup of shortening. So you can kind of just eyeball it for the shortening to make a half a cup. Just if you're a good cook, you know just about what to say. Probably that much. It looks kind of glumpy, but it's about a half a cup. A half a cup in a pinch. And there's your pinch. Okay, that's the shortening. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna add, let me wipe my hands. And make sure you take off your rings because it makes everything gets contaminated and it doesn't be good when you
take off your blings.
Take off your blings because you get garbage under your rings and then you contaminate, you know, your
cross-contamination.
Cross-contamination, which you all should know if you learn in home ec. Then you're going to take, you're going to cream in with all this. You're going to take your sugar. I use a little bit more because I really want these to be sugar cookies. So about a little over a cup of sugar. Okay, your sugar. You're going to put that in. And your salt, a quarter teaspoon of salt. I use the old-fashioned way. You could pretty well tell a quarter teaspoon of salt, but I just put it in that's way too much. About a pinch of salt in a pinch. Okay.
That makes it sweeter.
Well, yeah, and then your baking powder. This is not to use baking powder, but I do because it makes the cookies fluffy. Let me get a spoon.
They're not so hard and crispy.
Yeah, you don't want hard cookies like
you want them
rocks.
A little soft. Because the sugar will make them hard.
Yeah, and then a half a teaspoon of baking soda, but I'm using baking powder.
Which is okay.
It's better. It makes the cookies fatter.
It's the same thing, except baking powder is a little different.
And baking soda is kind of salty.
Baking powder has cream of tartar in it.
Yeah, it has cream of tartar. And about that much. I used to have measuring spoons, but you know how it goes. You lose things over time.
You can pretty well estimate it.
Yeah, you can.
You've been cooking long enough.
Been cooking since I was 10.
Now you blend it together.
Now you cream this all together.
With a hand mixer.
Hand mixer, you cream it. That's your start. You make sure it gets nice and clean. Nice and fluffy. You can speed it up. And make sure it doesn't go flying everywhere.
Cookie dough everywhere.
Cookie batter everywhere. And now the margarine has more yellow in it. Makes it nice and yellow. I'm going to turn this off, okay? You're going to get your spatula and you're going to scoop it down. I always should have everything ready for me, but you know how it goes in the kitchen. And just scrape it down till you get your...
Get all the edges scraped.
All the edges. Okay. Yum yum, don't eat it.
Not yet.
It says to add 1 egg, but I'm going to put 2 eggs to make it a richer cookie. The old-fashioned way. Make sure you check your eggs in the cup because you don't want any bad eggs. Just 1. I'll throw it away. My helper. In the garbage. Make sure you have everything handy. That way you're not jumping around the kitchen. And egg number 2. See, they look good. They're not
Always
fun.
break it in another container.
Yeah, because you don't want to have a chicken egg.
Rotten egg in your batter.
Okay,
it'll ruin the batter.
Do that. And you do that. Put that in there. And you're going to put your... You're going to mix this pretty good. See how nice and pretty that looks?
Yeah.
And this recipe is versatile for all holidays. It's a basic sugar cookie recipe, and coming up with the holidays, you can get make your icing with confectionery sugar and milk, and you make an icing, and then you could put sprinkles on it. Kids love to do that. Okay, that's that. And it says 2 tablespoons of milk, which I'll put in here.
Your measuring cup.
Yeah, 2 tablespoons. That's about good. 2 tablespoons of milk. And you go, it's real easy. And then you're going to scrape that down. You can use your hands. That's why you don't want rings on your fingers and bells on your toes. I'm kidding. Yum, yum. And you're going to blend it together. This makes about 3½ dozen cookies, depending on the size when you form them on your cookie sheet. Okay, blend that all together. And then you add your vanilla. You can use real vanilla or imitation. It's whatever is economical for you.
Imitation is cheaper.
You can also put lemon flavoring. Oops, take the top off. Lemon
extract.
Lemon extract. You know, like lemon extract. There you go.
Or a squeeze of lemon.
Or lemon, but make sure you don't put seeds in it.
Yeah, strain it through a
and
strain.
then I put about 2 teaspoons of vanilla.
For flavor.
For flavor. You can always, for the holiday, you can, instead of vanilla, you can use the anise flavoring.
Which is
makes
licorice.
Licorice. It makes it more holiday. But right now it's just general cookies. You're going to blend it all together. I wish I had a cooking show. Or are you, Guy Fieri?
Yeah.
And that's all that way. And I'll wash my hands.
Always wash your hands after when you're done
because you won't contaminate everything.
cooking.
And then make sure you put the milk
Especially if you touch eggs.
Yeah, the eggs, you get salmonella.
If you not wash your hands right away.
Yum, yum. Now, for the dry ingredients, you're going to use 2½ cups of flour. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Just, I can get another one. Okay. Thank goodness Bill's my sous chef here. He's getting things cleaned off for me. If you make a mess, you can always clean it up.
Right.
It wouldn't be cooking if you weren't messy. And I put that and the salt.
That's part of the fun.
You get it on your arm and you just wipe it off. You know, if you're not a good cook, if you don't get food all over yourself. And then you're going to use 2½ cups. 2½ cups of flour. Or a little bit more since I added another egg to it. You might, depending on the consistency, if you want a harder dough. Yeah, it's about right. There's about 2. And then you want a little bit more. And this cookie dough, well, it says not to chill it, but I always chill it. That way, when you get ready to form your cookies, they're not all over the place. They're
not too.
They're solid.
Yeah.
You get a spoon. Another spoon. And put this over here. And then you're just gonna mix this together. It seems kind of dry, but the shortening and butter and eggs will kind of let it get more to a cookie dough consistency. Just make your cookie dough. It's real easy. Like I said, this is a good holiday recipe for all occasions because you can add sprinkles, or you can put a chocolate Hershey in the middle, or whatever. You can sprinkle chopped walnuts or peanuts on it, and the colored sugar. So the kids like this. And just make sure you get it all blended together. Make sure, see how it's coming to a ball. You don't want to make a whole lot, just because otherwise, you know, you'll get tired of them, or they get stale. And this is just a short batch. And then you can always double it with the ingredients I told you, and the recipes on the Pioneer Sugar, or almost any sugar bag. They have hints for cookies, for pie crust. But see how it's coming together? Yum yum. It's a pretty good recipe, but I add an extra egg, that way it's fluffy, and then the shortening I use lard because it gives it, I don't know, old-fashioned taste.
It's like crispy on the outside, but it's moist on the inside.
Yeah, it's a good taste.
It's not hard and flat.
No, and see how nice you have your ball of dough. Then you're going to chill this for about 1 hour, because right now it's too soft to form cookies.
And they'll fall apart.
Yeah, they won't.
They'll melt.
Not test it. Good. You're supposed to eat dough. I did. Well, I want to mix enough sugar.
It has to be. You have to test your batter.
It's not salty.
It's not
It's
too
just
sweet.
right. Get out the coffee, Dunkin' cookies. Well, not Dunkin' you know what, but
Dunk a
the
cookie.
cookie. Not Dunkin' Shay. And see how nice that is and how pretty it colored yellow? It's a pale yellow. Okay, and then you're going to scoop everything down. And then you're going to cover this and chill it for about an hour or a little over. And then have your lunch. Then after lunch, we'll continue making cookies. See you in a bit. Thank you.